Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to another very special live stream. It is Rager Appreciation Week, and as my appreciation to you, I am doing videos that are all about you guys, for you guys, showcasing you guys. But there's one particular person who's new to the Rager family, and he's new to the Rager family because I said he is. Okay. So this individual is a very, very amazing musician who I met at AmpFest, and I met him in kind of like a fun way. So a friend of his came up to me thinking I was someone else. But then I guess he still knew who I was. So he and I start rapping. So later in the day, he pulls me to the side to introduce me to all these musician dudes who were supposed to perform the following night. And so these musician dudes end up being the band Jordan. And little did I know how much I was going to love their music. I love their music so much that I had to make the official Red Pill Rage theme song, Born for Freedom. Welcome to the show, Alex.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
So, Alex, I want you to let's start with the song itself. Mm-hmm. Tell me what your inspiration was for the song, who you wrote it with, how you came about the music, and then also, since we're on the subject, we did talk about it a little bit in our pre-interview. Let's talk about the difference between your recorded version, how you made the music video, and the live version.
Sure. Well, to start with the song, I have a co-writer and producer who I work with very frequently, weekly, and his name is Phil Hare. He's an amazing writer and lyricist, and I am more on the music side of things. I usually am the person playing the music. I actually run a recording studio here in Florida, and I usually write tracks for people, and I write lyrics as well. But he is just an amazing lyricist, and he's a real patriot as well. So we're just seeing all this stuff in the media. And me and him are old fashioned. We still have our Yahoo and AOL accounts for email. So we'll be emailing each other, and we'll just see the front page and we're like, can you believe this? Like, these headlines are just outrageous. So we just got so tired of it. We just are thinking like, man, the media is just crushing the morale of society. And we just kind of thought that, man, we deserve better than this. You know, we need to get a Gmail. No, just kidding. I mean, no, we deserve better because we don't need to have this shoved at us from all angles. I mean, you turn on the TV, you go to your email, even on your phone, just like the default news that you're getting is outrageously left wing. So we believe that it's oppressing people so much more than actually what's going on in society. So that was our perspective. So we thought, gosh, we are born for freedom, to be not telling us that we're oppressed because of our skin or because we're poor or because I'm from here or something. And I just can't stand it. So we had been toying around with this idea to write this song called Born for Freedom. And I had the title in my head. Phil originally had a different title, and we started writing it, and then it was going a certain way. And I just said, what about Born for Freedom? And it just clicked. And after that, we just started writing, and he was coming up with great lyric ideas, and I was coming up with music ideas. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog running around here. But
dogs' lives matters.
Yeah, they really do. We love our dogs, and we actually have 2 pigs too, so they're great. But anyway, so it took a few weeks, and what happened was we finished the song on September 11th of all days, and we sent the song off to one of Phil's really good friends. Her name is Lenny, and she happened to be hosting the people who are the head of American Priority at her house. It was Tom and Katja, and they just happened to be in Florida, and they happened to be at his friend's house. And she said, "Hey, I got these people over here. Why don't you come over here and show them the song? They have this event coming up." And we said, "Okay, sure." And they listened to it, and they immediately invited us. And it's just been an absolute whirlwind since. And it's been really great. So the great thing is that I own and run a recording studio. So we were able to get in all the time, and we can write together. And we were doing so many different drafts of like different lyrics and different music things. But then when it finally was the version that it is now, we knew it was right. There's something special about it. That answers your question.
Yeah, there's definitely something special about it. The song, it moved me, it shook me. And I will say this because I'm, known for being brutally honest here on the Red Pill Radio.
Okay, bring it on.
And this is an absolute compliment to you. So I listened to the Spotify version when it came out. I think it was about a week ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I listened to it then, and I was like, it's the same song, but it's kind of slow, And compared to what I had recorded of what
Live.
You did at AmpFest,
yeah,
I was like, that's the jam version. That's the rock version.
That's good. That's good. I mean, get the song, listen to the song, and then come see a show. I got a great band. These are all of my friends who they kill it, and they did a great job. And thank you for saying that. I love that. I would always love for the live version to be just a little bit better. So sorry if I cut you off there, but that is something we did a few different things live. In the song, we have 2 sections where we have quotes from Trump's Mount Rushmore speech on July 3rd. And actually, I should have started there. My co-writer and my producer, listened to that speech. And honestly, we write on Fridays. And on Thursday night, he said, "Alex, you got to watch this speech and you got to listen to it." And I listened to it that night, and I was blown away. And then we listened to it together that day for inspiration. We already knew we wanted to write this song, Born for Freedom. And we were both just honestly in tears watching that speech. If you have any negative thought of President Trump, watch that speech because it will blow you away. He is amazing in that. And there's so many good quotes. I was just typing on my laptop. I'm saying, "Oh, he said this. Oh, he said that. He said that. Oh, he said this." And the crowd went wild. And we kind of took those talking points and kind of made them lyrics. So it was so special. I remember watching that the first time. I probably watched it about 4 times, to be honest. So I don't know if you've seen it, but it was amazing.
Well, let's okay, so the speech was amazing, and following up with what I said, wasn't crazy about the Spotify version, absolutely loved the live version.
Yeah.
And the YouTube video that you just came out with the quotes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
So we have the low budget, we've got the middle budget, and then we've got the full-blown production. So you are adaptive to all audiences. I love it.
Thank you.
So, but the cool thing is when I watched the YouTube video, not only does it have the quotes, but I noticed you filmed the video at the freaking Trump Doral. And I was there, so I recognized it immediately. Even the rooms I recognized immediately.
Yeah, definitely.
You're in the truck with Joel Patrick. Y'all are looking fly. You're looking hard. You've got. It looks like you have footage from your performance, but it also looks like there might have been some footage you took in between. When there weren't, I noticed there was one scene where it panned over the crowd. There was no one in it. I knew it. I caught you.
Okay.
So Why don't you tell me about what it was like to film your music video at the Trump and all the people you met?
Well, first of all, you pull in and it's the most beautiful property. So it was so special. I mean, to film there must just be a dream from the videographer standpoint. So that was one of the main things the people who invited me coordinated. They got a really amazing director, Jeremy Oliver, to film this video because he stood behind the song. He really loved it. And yes, we got there and we immediately set up our stuff, filmed, because he wanted to make sure we have the certain shots. You know, he wanted to make sure we probably played the song about 14 times. And, you know, just getting each angle of each individual person in the band. And I'm not kidding, my throat was just blown out by the end of the night. And it was great. But so we did that. And then with Joel, I have been following Joel for years, actually. I love Joel. And when we were doing a storyboard for the video, they said, well, what do you want to do? So Phil had the idea to start off with us watching TV to say kind of the premise of the song. You know, we're just tired of what we see in the media, and then it forces us to write this song, and that's how the video gets started. So there's a little bit of a cinematic beginning. And then, yeah, a lot of performance stuff. It was a blast. And I said, when we were storyboarding, I said, I want to get Joel Patrick and I want to get Bryson Gray.
Yes.
It didn't quite work out with him just because when we were doing all these cameos, he was just bopping around somewhere else. But I got to connect with him and he's a great dude. But driving around in Joel Patrick's truck was like, yeah, I love that.
And you got Roger Stone in the video.
Yeah, Roger Stone, Mindy Robinson, Tom Chatelet, who it was his event. Mm-hmm. And obviously a lot of Joel. Yes, and then definitely an empty crowd, you know, when it pans out. And what was that?
I'm such a detail-oriented Virgo. You know, I watch everything. So forgive me. I'm going to see things that no one else will see. But the reason I mentioned it was that what I wanted to say was that you guys put a lot of takes and a lot of time into it. So I could tell you guys took that extra step. You just didn't use everything from the live performance. You made sure that your shot set up so that when you guys were coming up on stage, we got that good. And, you know, the lighting was good. You guys looked great. The whole thing looked great. I could tell a lot of time went into it. And I was just kind of surprised, like, how were you in there? Because the conference was 4 days long.
Yes, it was. We had to really squeeze in between this person's event and this person's event. And we had to set up our full band's equipment and all of that to set up, do a ton of takes, and then rip it all back down so someone else can come back in. So actually, I think we started on Thursday night, and it was before there was stuff going on, but that room wasn't super busy yet, the main performance room. So yeah, I'll never forget that weekend. That was a wonderful weekend.
Were there any other highlights of the weekend for you?
Well, definitely making the connections with Joel Patrick and Bryson Gray was something that was on my list, and Mindy as well. And then I got to meet Anna Kate, and she's just been extremely supportive during this time, especially on Twitter. I just made a Twitter. And I had 24 followers, and now I think it's like 600 or something like that. That's not amazing or anything like that, but just in a couple of days, just of her sharing some stuff, it really helped me out. And of course, you and I'm just loving all this right now. It's just really interesting. But there's that. Oh, and I got to lead worship on Sunday morning too. So that's one thing that was really special to me. I'm you know, my whole family is super church oriented, and I'm actually employed by my church, and I lead worship every Sunday and Wednesday, and that is what I do. And I also like this, the band Jordan is a very new project. So that's what's going on. You want to play Fortnite with Bryson? That's funny. I don't know if I'm supposed to reply to these, but I
oh no, I was just putting them up there for fun so that everyone.
Funny though. I just happened to see it. That was great. So even worship, just kind of having church there too was really
yes
to me. That was really great. But just, I mean, everybody just was so kind. It felt like a family.
It
felt like I just got grafted into this new family. And I've always been real patriotic and real conservative. So I was just thinking, man, these are all like-minded people all in one room. And it was great.
You know how it felt for me that night, the night of the gala?
Yeah.
It felt like the prom that I never had.
Oh, yeah.
And I do want to make it clear. I did go to my high school prom. I did go to my senior prom,
right?
But it wasn't like that.
No.
What we had is one of those nights that you will never forget. And I do want to apologize. I missed your Sunday morning performance because me and Jennifer got shit-faced the night before.
Really? That's okay.
We got shit-faced, and we basically only got I only made it to one speech the next day, but it was a really good one. It was the one with Stacey Francis and some reporter chick and this pastor, Pastor Lewis, I think was his name. Do you remember?
I remember Pastor Greg Locke. That was him. I don't know if that was the same guy you're talking about.
No, I think it was a different guy. But anyway, just even having church that next day and just to be on such a roller coaster of like hardcore politics, free speech, censorship, fight the power, do it the right way. We will not bow down. And then we go into absolute party night, rock and roll. Just amazing performances by Ricky Rebel and Joel Patrick and Bryson Gray and Chandler Crump was there. I mean, all the mega stars were there. Yeah. Okay, so it like I said, it was the prom that I never had. I actually had a prom dress on.
Yes, you did. I remember that. Yeah.
And then just that the dinner was great. The speeches were great. Joey Gilbert was great. And then on top of it, just going into absolute wild mode for the next 5 hours. Don't go to bed till 4 a.m. Okay. And then for those of us who, could make it, who woke up and went to church, that was provided. And you're doing it in a Trump property.
Yeah, it is like
surreal.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, and Stacey Francis led worship as well. Me and her coordinated sort of a little, set list. And being a musician at this kind of event was kind of complicated because we were filming a music video. I had performances, and I had places to be, place to the next, the whole event. So I didn't get to see a lot of speeches, but it would be like while I'm setting up backstage, I saw Stacey Francis on stage, the speech that you were talking about, and she had some really great points. She said something that really resonated with me, where she said, I don't know why we're doing this prison reform when really we need to do an education reform. I don't know if you remember her saying that, but it was like, when she said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like, we need to teach the kids early, and then so they won't make it there, into these, situations that they get themselves in, and then try to get them out of that. We just need to stop it early. I really resonated with me because my wife is a teacher, and where she teaches, it's pretty rough. It's a low income area, and it's a great school, and it's has like the best leaders, but you get to see a lot of these kids like growing up in the struggle, and she really does a good job of like instilling that sort of those characteristics of stop, giving them a real good sense of reality. I don't know how I want to put this. Just the better perspective on life than maybe other teachers would give.
Mm-hmm.
Saying you're so oppressed, you're this and that, which does happen. She's way more unifying and uplifting. I'll say that. So forgot how I got on there, but anyway, Stacey Francis said some really great points that day. So
I want to turn the conversation a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
You just exude joy. Like you seem like such a happy guy. Okay. You're a part of the Rage family because I've basically claimed you as part of the Rage family, but you don't seem like a guy who has a lot of rage. But let me ask you this.
Okay.
This thing, part of why you wrote this song is because you're seeing the ugliness of what is going on in this country.
Yep.
What is the worst case scenario that you can foresee right now? And once you think about that, what suggestions do you have for the rest of us patriots?
Well, I see a lack of patriotism, and going back to what I was talking about with my wife being a teacher, you kind of see how these kids, and it's not all, but you kind of see how these kids have no respect or patriotism at all. They have no respect for, certain positions in the country. And I think that just leads to just complete lack of respect. And they're the next generation that has these responsibilities to keep this country going. So I think it's got to start there. One of the most special things that has happened to me since this, Born for Freedom release is a friend on Instagram sent me a video of her son watching Born for Freedom on their flat screen TV. Is real nice, and he's just waving an American flag. And I was like, it like kind of choked me up a little bit, because I was thinking, that's what we need right there. So the worst case scenario would be we got kids who don't respect America, who are now of age to be voting and of age to start getting in these offices, and they're going to implement other policies maybe that have failed in other countries, different communist type policies that you're just, we would just be ruined. And that right there is probably the worst case scenario. I think it's got to start when they're young. I remember growing up, we sang patriotic songs in kindergarten. They just taught us so much respect for the country and for the flag, and it's still with me today, strong. And if we take that away, what's this future going to be like in the next generation? If you don't mind me telling a real quick story, I remember it was in elementary school. We had flag duty, where you go out and you put the flag on the flagpole, and then you raise it up. And I loved doing that. I thought that was the coolest thing. And some kids didn't care at all, but I loved doing that. And the teacher just put this thought into our head where they said, the flag can never touch the ground. Flag can never, ever touch the ground, because if so, it has to be burned. And I don't know if that's ever really happened, but what that means is just this thing is so reverent.
Yeah.
It can't be on the ground.
No.
So I remember one time we put the flag up, we rolled it up, and it was up there, and it just looked so great, and then someone didn't wind up, like tie down the rope, and it fell. So the flag is just falling down. And I remember I was like, the flag can't touch the ground. So I ran over there, and the only thing I can do to save the flag was to let it fall on me And when I did, it was like a cape. It was like I like put it over me, and like I stood back up, and I remember people cheered. They were like, "Wow, he gets it."
Yes.
I did, and that's what it's just got to start off like that. If we had kids who were that passionate and excited for their country, our future would just, be exploding with positivity and unity and, profiting really great things. So that's my take on it.
I absolutely love that story, and I remember having flag duty too.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there was a territorialism that we are supposed to have over this country.
Yep.
We are supposed to have over our flag. And I remember being raised to believe the same thing. If that flag touches the ground, you need to burn it because it's been desecrated.
That's right.
So it's intolerable for me to watch what BLM does and what Antifa does with our flag. And, I'm sorry, but you do that in other countries. That's grounds for an ass whooping.
Yep.
And just the fact that there's a mentality to where anyone even fucking thinks it's okay is really bothersome to me. But I love what you're talking about. We really do need to reprogram the next generation because getting Donald Trump reelected is it's not even half the battle. It's 10% of the battle.
Yep.
Because we still have 25 to 30 years of reprogramming that we need to do. Plus, how are we going to live alongside our fellow Americans who have openly chosen to support a communist agenda, violence, and pedophilia? How do we live alongside these other Americans? So it's kind of a rhetorical question. I don't think there's a serious, legitimate answer for it, but I love what you're saying. And I'm glad that you are going to be able to do that through your music and using your God-given talent to create that generational change that we need. We lost Lady Antebellum.
Oh no.
Okay. We lost Chris Stapleton.
Really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, everybody got woke, so we're not playing with, we don't want them no more. So we need new music. We need new people like the band Jordan, to come in and write these songs that are going to remind this next generation of who they are, who we are as Americans.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you're quite the country music fan, huh?
I'm not gonna lie and try to pretend like I listen to Reba and Conway Twitty and Jordan.
Right.
I have to say that I came in, my love for country music kind of came in not even 6 years ago. So I only have been exposed to new country. I heard a song called "The Boondocks" by Little Big Town. I pray that they don't get woke because I love them too much.
Yeah.
And I've been in love with country music ever since.
That's wonderful. Yeah. But yeah, what me and my producer always talk about is that you can be so many different things in country music, where pop, you kind of have a certain lane that you have to stay in. You got to sing about relationships. You got to sing about being in the club. You got to sing about this, in rap music, you sing about this, and this. But country, you have all of that and more. You can write real spiritual songs. You can just straight up write some tearjerker, inspirational song that, is about God. And then you can also write a song, some honky tonk song, which is, then you can also write just a real patriotic anthem. Like the Lee Greenwood or like some Toby Keith song where it's just this hard, America song. And that's what I love about country. You still can be patriotic. If there's a pop song out there, if there's a rap song besides Bryson Gray, and Joel Patrick, but if there's some other, pop, rap, and mainstream, like big, like doing well, that's patriotic and promotes the stuff that we stand for, show it to me. I'd love to hear it because I love all kinds of music, but country is still that last bastion of hope where you're just, you can sing about your country and people like it.
Hey, so real quick, it's funny that someone should bring this up in the chat. I actually, I'm kind of known on my channel for doing a little southern voices here and there, and a little Matthew McConaughey impressions here and there.
Yeah, okay.
So someone asked, let me find it here. There has been a request. There's been a request from the Netherlands. Just with your southern accent, Alex, would you mind doing a real quick Matthew McConaughey style? All right, all right, all right.
So, all right. I don't know. It's probably terrible.
You saw Dazed and Confused, didn't you?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. Is that the one where he goes, he said something, he goes, be a lot better if you did, or something.
That's even better.
I can't remember what it was.
I love it. I love it. So why don't you throw out any last words that you have for the Ragers, the Rage family? Any last things you wanted to tell about yourself? I know you wanted to mention what you had in your background, and then let's.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm born and raised in Florida. And I live in my absolute dream house. I live on a dairy farm. It's actually not a dairy farm right now, but it has always been a dairy farm. And we live on plenty of acreage, and I have to mow all of it, and it's a big job. Anyway, so it was a dairy farm, and when we were growing up, there was horses and there was cows. It was just a lot of fun. I used to trespass on this property all the time and just honestly sit and just look around and look at the stars if it was at night, or if I would just walk around here during the day. It's beautiful. I mean, people think of Miami and people think of Orlando when they think about Florida. This is not that. So they might not realize that there's a real rural side of Florida, which is just crazy to say because that's what most of the state is. But anyway, yeah, so my grandfather built this house for these farmers. And when we got here, my wife is like an amazing interior designer. I mean, this stuff is like from Hobby Lobby. But anyway, but she's so good. Our house it looks like a, Chip and Joanna Gaines kind of house. And she does a great job. But these jars right here are actually vintage jars from when this place was a dairy farm. So they're super old. They're from like the like 30s or 40s or something like that, where you'd still get milk in a jar like that. So we're still trying to hold that alive here on the estate. So yeah, so it's great. You just walk out and there's just undeveloped land forever. So it's amazing. But I actually live right in in town. So I'm close to everything, but then when you go right into our property, it's quiet. You can't hear anything. You see bright stars. We have all the type of critters. We have the foxes and coyotes and all that good stuff. And they keep us awake at night when they howl. So.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for being on. Any last call to actions, socials? I think you've got the same social across the board.
That's right. Yeah, you can go follow me on the band Jordan or at the band Jordan on anything. Go watch the video. You can listen to Born for Freedom on all social platforms or anywhere where you listen to music, anywhere you stream it. You can also go to my website, which is thebandjordan.com, and check out some merch. I mean, you just got such a great thing going. I mean, I've been following you since AmpFest. So, I mean, everybody watching, you got a great leader right here with the Red Pill Rage. So she's doing a great thing. So I'm so happy to be a part of this. I'll do it anytime you want me to. And thank you so much.
Okay, one last word. Since you're pumping me up now.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
What did you think of my little silly slideshow music video. What did you think of the official Red Pill Rage? Did you?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, it clearly showed you were busy. You know? Showed you're going around and speaking, and yeah, I mean, you're doing it. I mean, you're really out there on the front lines, really promoting these. Yeah, seriously. I mean, you're out there speaking, and you're bringing it. So, I mean, I'm not that great of a public speaker. I am not. Actually, I'm being a little, I don't know. I'm not a good speaker, as you can just tell in the last 10 seconds. But you are. So that's your gift. You know, me, I'm a musician, but you can speak. You have this channel, and you have all your socials that are just killing it. So keep it going. We need people like you. I mean, need more people like you. So
it was such a great experience to know you then and to know you that now. And you are, hey, it's our land. You're my brother. So
that's right. Hey.
That's right. You're my brother, and I'm proud to know you, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for you and for me. And I might have a little project in the next coming months that I want you to be a part of. So let's just keep going with it and keep doing the work of reprogramming the next generation with the gifts that God gave us.
There you go. Right.
Man.
That was a sentence right there.
All right. I'll check you later. Everybody go follow the band Jordan.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.